Even when I used to work out all the time, when I used to work out, when I used to work out.
Ever have protein powder? Yeah, I used to have it. When I used to work out, I used to take protein powders.
I myself, I jerk off at least twice a day. Wow. Once in the morning, right after I work out, and then once right after lunch.
That's what's going to happen on Saturday. Now, I haven't mentioned this at all recently, but now it's time to start mentioning it, all right? Last month, I was very, very strongly negatively affected in the pocketbook by these trolls basically giving away so many free memberships.
2 weeks earlier.
Oh, and by the way, yes, of course, the trolls showed up to that stream and gifted a bunch of memberships, but it didn't matter. Like on that channel, the membership just supports the channel. That's it. You don't get any features, like you don't submit videos or anything. So it literally didn't affect the channel negatively at all, so I don't give a crap about that. All right? I didn't get credit for any of those. You know, right now, I'm not even kidding. I just looked last night on a whim. I was like, gee, I wonder how many memberships we have on the channel. We have over 2,000 memberships on this channel right now. Out of those, less than 500 are valid paying members.
My mother, rest in peace, loved this meme and loved when I would say it, so I'm glad I get to use it. Phil, behold my field in which I grow my fucks to give. Cast thine eyes upon it, and thou shalt see it is barren. Phil, 2,000 members, 400 members, no one cares. No one gives a shit. I'm here stressing about giving my members value for their money, and you're stressed about what you can squeeze out of yours. It's like you're the cable industry and the airline industry all rolled into one, raising prices, reducing features, and just being an insufferable experience when you have to deal with them. Or, in this case, you.
So I went from a channel that in December had over 800 paying members down to a channel that doesn't even have 500 paying members. So I want you to think about that. Why did that happen? Because the trolls gave them away for free. And so people who normally would have become a member are not. They already got one. People who maybe would have given out memberships, let's give some memberships that are legit, they're not doing it because I already have 2,000.
Wow, Phil, if only you had planned ahead and saved money, because last month, just off tips, you were paid $6,238, which, after removing 3.5% for PayPal, equals $6,019.67. Source is Piece of Pieces spreadsheet. Plus, all your channel members, all your super chats, and the Patreon shit. An enormous fuck you for this begment, Phil. Stop playing mobile games.
You see? And this has very much hurt me financially. Okay? Now, many of you were already going to buy a membership. All right? What I would ask is that if you have a free membership from one of these trolls, if you could contribute in another way, that would be great. Notably, this event is coming up on Saturday, right? If you tipped me during the event, that would be amazing. That would be great because that would help out a lot. Basically, when I get paid this month by YouTube, it's going to be way less than it is usually, like by thousands of dollars.
Sorry if you hate it, y'all. I'm bringing it back.
And there was much rejoicing.
Because of this issue. And I don't know what's going to happen in the next month when I got to pay all my bills. All right? I'm not asking anyone to go crazy. I'm not asking anyone to dump tons of donations. That's not what I'm saying.
Except that is what you're saying, Phil. That's exactly what you're saying. You know that your sham business is propped up by a handful of whales, and you're giving your best puppy dog eyes and mentioning generic figures like thousands of dollars so they know how much they need to step up, but of course not telling them what the bills are or where the money is going. Hell, you said it yourself. You had 800 members and you're short 400 members at what was $4 of a 70-30 split. That means you're short $1,120. You live so tight that 1G separates you from oh shit land after getting $6,000 in tips last month? Yeah, I gotta smash X to doubt there, Phil. Just add this terrible math into the column of indicators Phil has a WWE Champions addiction.
I'm saying if you were someone who maybe already was going to get a membership and you got one for free, it'd be great if you could contribute in another way. Right now, what would help me is tips, because if you did do, say, a super chat, I won't see that until next month. It ain't going to help me in the next 30 to 60 days when I'm trying to pay bills. Right now, the tips are really the only way to help with that, okay? So, if you could, you know, please, if you could contribute in some way, and maybe the day to do it would be Saturday during this big Super Bowl event, that'd be really cool. Have a big rallying of support on that day, all right? But I'm not going to be harping on this. I'm not going to be bringing it up constantly. No, we're not going to do, oh, it's an emergency fundraiser stream with giant $1,000 goals. We're not doing that.
In my best Morgan Freeman voice, but that's exactly what it was. Despite making dramatic arm gestures, everyone could see Phil was in a desperate place, and desperation does crazy things to a man.
I've been there, done that. I've learned from my past. Yes, I actually did streams like that in the past. I'm not proud of them. I did those streams when I was at my lowest, where basically I had to do them because I was in a situation where I had absolutely no money because of bankruptcy and all this debt I was in. Luckily, I'm not there right now, okay?
And here we have Schrodinger's beg. Phil says he's going to be short money and really needs money for bills, while simultaneously saying, but I'm not in a situation where I have no money. He is both stable and broke at the same time.
But I need to recover from this idiocy of what these people have done on YouTube. And I'm hoping that this is the first step towards it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a good thing to start as a positive move towards recovery, as opposed to, you know, having to basically just deal with the fact that I guess YouTube isn't going to fix this issue anytime soon. And now I'm just supposed to have less income because of idiots? No, absolutely not. I'm putting out the same content, right? And people are liking the content. In fact, if you take a look at YouTube, this is true.
I love to pick out the nuggets of honesty Phil has, because whenever he is going to be honest, he heavily implies nothing else he says is truthful. So at the end of this last segment, Phil gets ready to talk about statistics, cold, hard numbers, verifiable and presentable, which is why right before he talks about them, he says, "This is true," all excited like. Again, implying a lot of what he says isn't true. For instance, people are liking the streams, I'm doing well, when literally less than 24 hours ago, he was getting butthurt about 300 viewers to a Tekken stream. Like I've said a few times, he is the Rick James of the internet. Hey, come on, man, how are we going to have 300 views on a Tekken stream? That means you don't like the stream. We got to have a little more support than that. Yeah, people are liking my content. Let me show you some stats.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
In January, my views were up, my engagement was up, everything was up, income way down. Now, normally the income is down in January because of ads. There's like no ads on YouTube in January because all the ads, you know, were for the holiday season, and they're dramatically reduced in January. I'm used to that. What I'm not used to is seeing the other thing happen at the same time.
So I had to go back and check. Remember when I say he got $6,000 this January in tips and how he's not used to seeing the potential income drop like he just said? Well, last year, he got $4,890 in tips for the month of January. So he should be exactly where he needs to be. He made over $1,000 extra this year. I love it when numbers and calculations prove that Phil is a hopelessly addicted asshole who's begging for money like Tyrone Biggums did for crack. Christ, I have an obsession with Chappelle's show, don't I?
That's the problem. It was like the worst timing to have these things happen together, okay? So, if you could, please support the streams. If you can, please tip. And if you attend the stream on Saturday, that would be a great time to support the streams with a rallying of support with everyone together. That would put me in a much better position for the rest of this month, and I wouldn't have to worry all month about, oh God, how am I going to pay everything because I got less income because of these idiots. Okay? Thank you. No, I'm not dumping that on anyone. No, there's no personal responsibility there for anyone to do anything. I'm just telling you like it is, and if you can help, thank you in advance. Okay?
Well, Phil, for telling it like it is, you sure seem to cut out a lot of your own personal responsibility. You won't tell people what you spend money on, you insult, and then don't apologize to your viewers, banning someone who had been a member for years because you're a toxic piece of shit, refusing to play the games that your fans want because I want to be a variety streamer, plus spending $60 on sandwiches to be DoorDashed to you, and, of course, WWE champions. You need therapy, Phil. And a lot of it. Anyway, that's it for this one. Big ups to Duty Streams for the clip. I appreciate it. Massive thank you to anyone who subs, views, likes, comments, or otherwise gets my content out on the interwebs. And the biggest of thanks and biggest of ups go to my members. I will do my best to make sure you're getting value from your memberships. Till next time, Swole is the goal for a troll. Lift heavy, eat clean.